Good morning and welcome to the Morning Expresso by the Indian Express. My name is Rahul Philippos and here is today's big story. The Tata Group regained control of Air India 69 years after the Mumbai-based conglomerate first relinquished its stake in the airline to the central government. The conclusion of the Air India deal also marks a major first step in the centre's mega privatization push. Next up are our stories exclusive to the Indian Express. Speaking to the Indian Express, Dr. Anurag Agarwal, the director of Delhi-based Institute of Genomics and Integrative Biology, made a strong argument for reopening of schools, at least in areas where the COVID curve has begun to go down. He added that keeping children away from schools had potential adverse impacts on their physical and mental development. Here are our stories from the front page. In a turnaround from the Congress's repeated assertion of collective leadership ahead of the Punjab elections, senior leader Rahul Gandhi has now said that the party will go into the polls with a chief ministerial face. A decision should be taken soon after consulting with party workers, he said. It seems like 100 kg weight off my chest, said the father of the Arunachal Pradesh youth who was returned to the Indian Army by Chinese authorities this week. On Thursday, the family went to the Indian Army camp at Tooting near their ancestral Zero village, with the authorities hoping to put them in touch with Miram over video conference. Hearing his mother's voice after more than a week in Chinese captivity, the 17-year-old broke down. 2 days after China held a virtual summit with Central Asian countries, India too stepped in and Prime Minister Narendra Modi pitched for an integrated approach for regional connectivity and cooperation for the next 30 years. He also flagged Afghanistan as a common concern and said that their mutual cooperation has become even more important for regional security and stability. This was the first engagement of its kind between India and Central Asian countries at the level of leaders. And now for our must-read stories. In 2019, Akbar Khatun lost her 20-year-old son during the anti-CAA protests in the state. Now she's contesting the upcoming elections in UP from Bijnor on a Congress ticket. Khatun said accepting Priyanka Gandhi Vadra's offer was her shot at getting justice for her son. In a proposal submitted before the Indian Council of Medical Research, AIIMS has sought permission to study cases of avascular necrosis or the death of bone tissue during the second wave of the coronavirus pandemic, mostly due to the use of steroids as well as due to blood clots in patients. AIIMS has treated about 50 such patients, while the Nanavati Hospital in Mumbai has carried out about 10 hip replacements in AVN patients. Several other hospitals in Delhi and Mumbai, as well as in other cities, have also reported an average of about 10 such cases. The latest budget must undo some of the damage caused by the coronavirus pandemic, Amartya Lahiri writes for the IndianExpress.com. You can check out his column on the IndianExpress.com website. The US Federal Reserve has signaled a potential hike in interest rates soon, leading to a nervous reaction in Indian markets. The Fed tightening is likely to impact the cost of financing in emerging market economies, and sooner rather than later, the interest rate cycle will turn across countries, according to analysts. How will the expected hike impact markets and the economy, and what should investors do? Check out our explainer. And finally, the captain of India's 1964 Tokyo Olympics gold-winning hockey team, Charanjit Singh, passed away in Himachal Pradesh on Thursday after suffering a heart attack. Described by his teammates as a captain who brought luck to the team, a calm yet authoritative player, and above all, a humble human being, Charanjit led India to victory with a 1-0 win over Pakistan in Tokyo just 4 years after India suffered its first ever loss in an Olympic final against its arch rivals. And that's all for today's Morning Expresso. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe to the Indian Express's YouTube channel for the latest news updates.